I am finding my new normal. And I think it is safe to say that I've struggled with weight my whole life. What's up, YouTube? It's Christine here with Gauge Girl Training, an online meal planning and coaching service. I'm a food scientist and chemical engineer. And in today's video, I'm going to give you guys an update of how I've been eating, what my goals are, and my lifelong struggle with weight loss. So let's get started. If you are a subscriber, welcome back to the channel. If you are new, hello. I wanted to provide a very candid, honest video about the things I actually struggle with, and it's been really heavy on my heart about being transparent about my struggles, because I think that in order for me to lead you guys to your best health from a scientific perspective, which is what I do on this channel, provide you guys the science, give you guys the tools, give you guys the knowledge, there's a human element of it, and that human element can be very hard. So I thought it would be cool if I went back a little bit and gave you guys my full story of where I've been, what I've done, what has worked, what has not, and where I'm at now and what I'm doing about it. So this might be a little bit long video, but it'll be worth it. So here we go. I think it is safe to say that I've struggled with weight my whole life. When I say whole life, I would say ever since I hit puberty. So in those years of 11 to 13, I remember it was the first time I outgrew my mom, I outgrew my family, and I weighed more than everybody else in my family. And ever since I was in 6th grade, I can remember exactly how much I weighed at every point in life from then on out. I think that 11 years old is extremely way too young to even be wanting to drink diet soda and to even care about all that stuff, but I did. I've had all of the teenage issues of, man, this is really hard. This is really hard. All right, I needed to compose myself because this is a lot harder than I thought it would be, so bear with me. I won't get into it in this video, but I will save it for another one. Let's just say that, I have had my fair share of eating disorders through my teenage years, and when I think back to all the energy I've wasted with just poor decisions, poor nutrition, just being so hard on myself, my heart breaks for the old me, if that makes sense. My heart breaks for the old me who just didn't understand how to properly balance nutrition and exercise and feeling good and piece it all together. So where I'm at now, you guys, the big overview here really is I've never really been incredibly athletic. I've always gained my confidence from my academics and my ability to do well in school. It really wasn't from looking good or anything or being really sporty or athletic, because I really wasn't that good at sports. I did track, I did cross country. I wasn't that great at it. I did all right. My body looked fine, in hindsight, but I just was never one of those people that performed very well in sports. As I got into college, I got into distance running. I mean, I've always done distance running, but I've always dreamt about running a marathon, and I believed that if I ran a marathon, that I would be in the best shape of my life. I did all that, and I still didn't look the way I wanted to look. And it wasn't until I learned that I was eating way too much food for my goals. I'm half Asian, so I just grew up eating tons of rice. And not only that, I wasn't training properly. So once I got those two things dialed in, I started to lose weight. I thought I would have looked better having run marathons. But while it was awesome that my body was able to do so much, I had a high body fat percentage, and I got really into controlling my calories. I understood it was about a caloric deficit. I got there and I got thinner. However, with being thin, I didn't have the muscle mass I wanted. So it wasn't until I started to weight train more, started to eat more protein, started to increase my calories a little bit, that I was able to really start to see some progress in my body. So from there, I set this goal of doing fitness competitions for myself. And for my first show, I was already relatively lean to begin with, but I just needed to get to that next level. And you can see in these photos here what I looked like. I gave myself 9 weeks to prepare for my first show. I did really well. I took second place. And that was the beginning. So this was 2011, 2012, of where my passion for training, nutrition, fitness, all of that really came to life. I've always been active and healthy, so to speak. This is where it really, really came to life for me. Once I started competing, it was cool for me because I had a reason to eat well. I had a reason to get to the gym, and the reason was you wanted to look good on the stage. That was my motivation, that was my goal, and it worked for me. It worked for me for many years because it kept me focused. It gave me an actual reason to get my ass to the gym. It gave me an actual reason to get these meals prepped. It gave me structure, and I liked that structure. It gave me a sense of control. I think I can naturally be a controlling person. Only child here. I think that stuff worked. However, when I didn't have a show and I didn't have those goals and I didn't have a photo shoot and I didn't have that driving me to essentially, people please, to look good, to be on the stage for just praise and just that feeling of looking good. I'm a very all or nothing person, and it was very, very hard for me to really have a reason to want to eat this way when I had no reason to. Does that make sense? Like, yes, you want to look good. Yes, you want to whatever, but like for me to continue to eat and live that way, it was something that I couldn't mentally handle. It was something I couldn't mentally handle, and I feel like I imploded a little bit from the pressure. Since my last show in 2014, I rebounded. I gained weight. I had my moments of I don't give a, And then I've had several times between then and now, obviously we're talking about a 4-year span of me not competing, where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna compete again. Let me get myself to a certain point first. And in the last 4 years, I've probably had about at least half a dozen attempts to compete again. I never announced them. I may have announced them to a few close friends or people who know me really well, but I thought I was going to do it again, and I'd get myself to a certain point where I would have my body within striking distance of competing. When I say within striking distance, I mean having my body where it's about 6 to 12 weeks out, where, with targeted training and nutrition, I could get that lean that quickly. But it just never panned out for me because my priorities have shifted, obviously, as I've spent all of my blood, sweat, and tears over the last 4 or 5 years in building Gauge Girl training to where it's at, and I'll talk to you guys more about that in another video. But it was a struggle. And so where I'm at now is I say that I've embraced my body. When I say I've embraced my body, I'm body positive. I've embraced that this is what I look like now. I've embraced that this is how much I weigh now. I've embraced that I have more body fat on my body now. I'm okay with that. However, I still have my hang-ups. I'm still human, and I still have goals. And I think that it's so important to make sure that you're in a good, solid place mentally before you take on those goals, because if you are like me or the way I used to be, I would have this almost aggressive desperation in the way I approached my goals, where I'd get it done and I would meet my goals, but like the degree of aggressive, like it had to happen, rain or shine. And like, granted, you need a certain level of that kind of grit to achieve any goal, don't get me wrong, but to me, it bordered on obsession and it was too much. So the question is, what's too much, what's not enough? Like, where is that line? And where I'm at with it now is I've tried some different things over the years, and I'm finally at a place where I am, I want to focus on adding some muscle mass to my body. I did my macros. I did a new set of macros for myself last night, and I am tracking again. I am food prepping again, and I am finding my new normal. I am finding my new normal. I am excited for this next journey of my life. Do I have a specific time-sensitive physique goal? The answer is no. And I'm not going to do that to myself because I do want to get leaner. Yes, I do want to show more muscle definition. I don't really want to get smaller though. I will say that I don't really want to get smaller. I like my size now. I like how full my body feels. I like how full my legs are. I like how full my glutes are. I like my curves. I gotta say, I do like that. I feel feminine. I feel womanly. And when I was getting so lean like that, while I felt tight, there was a certain amount of femininity I feel like I've lost. And even during those times when I was super lean and like my body got so tiny, I mean, I've considered getting breast implants. I've considered it all but then part of me is like, well, where's the line, Christine? And I don't know where that line is for me. I am not opposed to it. I still think about things I would want to change about my body, but every day I focus and work very hard on loving what I see in the mirror. And I can genuinely say that today I do love my body. I genuinely love my body. I want to eat healthy because I love it and all those things. So I've calculated some new macros for myself. And where I'm at, I did want to show you guys because I am tracking now, and I'm tracking now because I do need to dial it in a little bit. So I've calculated a range of 1,800 to 2,027 calories for my goals. So I am focusing on slight fat loss, just a slight fat loss, which just puts me slightly more towards the 1,800 calorie range. My protein is at 120 grams per day. My fats are at 60 grams per day. My carbs are at 195 grams per day. So I will be showcasing how I'm training. I will showcase what my progress is looking like because I really just want to be transparent to you guys. I've been there, I've done that, I've done it all. I can get myself lean in 6 weeks right now if I wanted to. This isn't about how fast, how lean someone can look. For me, it's more, now it's, I want to be strong, I want to be healthy, I want to feel fit and look fit. Whatever weight that dials into, I don't care. I just want to feel fit, look fit, and have a sense of control over my nutrition, over my body, and over my mind. I think that's the ultimate goal. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was a bit deep and uncomfortable for me, but I wanted to put it out there. And before I sign off, I've been drinking my coffee here in my It's All Good mug. I did want to shout out my friends over at Built Bar. Built Bar and a coffee is like life, so you guys can check these out. Promo code GageGirl1000, GageGirl1000. I'll put the link below. You can get their sample pack for $3 all month of October, so you have to check them out. This is like my new favorite protein bar. It's so good. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.